part two. So, I think it's a good thing that they're handing that money out. I also think that it will help jumpstart the economy. The governor of my state is calling for all lenders within the states and landlords and mortgage holders and things like that to hold off on, or he's asking them, not demanding, but asking them to be nice to people in their debt until people get back to work. Right now, the only businesses that are allowed to be open are those that are, and I quote, life-sustaining. So, pharmacies, restaurants, drive-through only, grocery stores, and department stores with a grocery store in them. So your Walmarts are still open. Interesting fact, I've got a pen pal. He and I met on a web forum a number of years ago, and he lives in the UK. Last spring he got to visit, had a grand old time getting to catch up, show him a few of the sites out here, show him where I lived. He got to enjoy a little bit of Second Amendment liberty that they do not have in the UK. I took him to a store and he got to see guns in a display case, and that just blew his mind, because the firearm ownership process in the UK is either illegal or go forth and cut through a ridiculous amount of red tape. But anyway, he and I spoke through messaging, and they are a few steps ahead of us in the UK right now. The only thing that's open is grocery stores and pharmacies. That's it. You cannot go through a drive-through. You cannot go get you cannot go to, I forget what he said the equivalent to Walmart is there, but you can't go there. He does a bit, he works at kind of like a call center, and so they have equipped him to work from home so he can continue working, and his business is actually picked up because people are stuck in their homes. He works in alcohol sales. But his business is picked up, but he said that they're about 2-3 steps ahead of us, and from my understanding, my state is it's one of the more restricted, but it's also one of the ones that's done better out of the entire 50. I tell you what, I think that this is going to be a good thing in the long run. I think it's going to restore a sense of community, because I've seen so many Facebook posts about people watching out for their neighbor and being their neighbor's keeper. Some friends of mine have started a giving porch. They're taking in donations, making little goodie bags, snack bags, activity bags, things like that, and they're just hanging them out on their front porch. They call it the giving porch. They're taking donations for that. I think that is wonderful, because there's no questions asked. You don't got to deal with people. You walk up, take what you need, drop off what you don't. It's pretty cool in my opinion. Something else that's going on is there's a lot of relief efforts underway by small-time charities to help take care of the people that are hurting the most from this. The people that can't pay stuff that they just got to pay. Even if it's, they've got their rent or their mortgage and all that stuff frozen, okay, that's fine. But suppose they need groceries and diapers and everything else. They're setting up funds for that, where you can come in, be asked very minimal questions, and get money that you need to take care of your family. I think that's wonderful. Another thing that I think is pretty cool, I've heard stories like this from more than one person, is there's a huge swath of America that is becoming interested in firearm ownership for the first time. Sure, you've got gun nuts that have a bunch of them. I have no problem with that. You've got people that went out and loaded up on ammo when all this happened. I have no problem with that. My brother-in-law is a gun owner. He has a handful of them. He was unable to purchase a firearm because of the backlog of background checks, not only at the gun store, but at the federal level. A lot of people don't realize this. All your background checks for firearms are submitted to a federal database and come back pretty quick. Just because something's not extensive does not mean it's not or just because something is extensive does not mean it's not quick. This database was set up federal level. It keeps track of all people's stuff, and they can get a background check return in just a couple minutes. But new firearm ownerships have gone through the roof. Now, I will say this. If you are a first-time gun buyer, find a gun owner. Take a safety course. Any gun owner that is worth their salt will tell you that. I have actually had a first-time shooter out at my house and showed him how to safely operate his handgun. He had bought it, threw it in his closet, knew he didn't know enough to do it safely. Most gun owners will do that. If they have the free time, you're welcome to go to a range, wherever they go shooting, and they will show you how to safely use a weapon. I'll do that with anybody I know that does not have a gun already. But there are tons of safety courses offered. If you know no friends that have guns, if you know no place that you can safely go shoot, when you buy a gun, talk to the gun store. Find somebody that they recommend. Budget in a firearm safety course with the purchase of your weapon. I grew up in a house with guns. My granddad had guns. My dad taught me how to shoot from the age of 10. There were very strict rules on handling guns. I had to make sure my parents knew what I was doing. I was not allowed to take it away from the house unless I asked permission. There were all sorts of rules about me handling a gun, but I got a gun at like the age of 12. A .22 long rifle. In my opinion, every kid should have some experience with one. Highly supervised in a very controlled situation, but I think they should. They should also know not to mess with guns. But I think that it's a good thing that a lot of people are, guns are a pretty good idea, because if society implodes and people go crazy and start looting, I need to find a way to protect myself and my family. I think that's wonderful. I think that the fact that there's a lot of never own a gun people that are out buying guns, I think it's dangerous. I think they need to make sure that they are taking proper safety precautions and safety courses. But I think that is a lot of non-gun people beginning to understand gun people. I really think it is. I hope it is anyway. So, anyway, I didn't even have a plan about what to talk about today, but that turned out pretty good. I got about 20 minutes worth of content in total. So, I reckon I'm going to sign on off of here. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for joining me for a cruise with Smooth. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to know when stuff goes up. I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts. Also, if there's anything that you want to hear my opinions on, whether I've spoke on it or not, leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to answer questions or give my opinions on stuff. Y'all take care. I'm out of here because I'm almost home and it's time for dinner.